Right now at 6, arrested in the wake of a fight and a school lockdown. We have the latest from Desert Oasis High School.
And a college student busted for sending drugs through the mail. The 8 News Now I-team with the exclusive DEA interview.
Plus, the MAC full of energy tonight as the Mountain West tournament is underway. Our 8 Sports Now team is live with more.
Now, this is 8 News Now, live at 6. Live, local, now.
First at 6, a blustery day here in town. Look at the wind on your television screen just whipping across the valley. Gusts over 40 miles per hour have been recorded today, and that windy weather, of course, the big question, will it continue? Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. Let's get right over to Ted Florendo right now with more on what it's going to be like tonight. Ted?
Hey, guys. Yeah, it looks like those winds still around for tonight, but not as strong as what we saw earlier today. So that's the good news. In fact, we're seeing those winds decreasing more as we get hour by hour here. Look at these. Wind speed still elevated, but not up to those big gusts we had earlier. Still reporting gusts up to 25 for Henderson, in those teens and 20s for Nellis. Same for North Las Vegas and Las Vegas. The big story also is the temperature drop. Remember, yesterday we were 71 degrees. Our high today only 59 degrees. And right now we're in the high 40s at this hour. Look at our big gust today. 51 in North Las Vegas, 40s for Reed and Nellis. Henderson, 38 for you. The good news also is the wind advisory has expired for Las Vegas, but still remains, though, for the Colorado River Valley until 4 a.m. Here are the headlines. Evening winds still stick around. A cold Friday start. I'm going to show you those neighborhoods coming up. And then we have a warmer weekend for daylight saving time. We'll have all the details on what to expect as we head into your weekend and what to expect tonight. All coming up in your Weather Now.
All right, Ted, we'll see in a few minutes. So police have arrested an adult and a juvenile following a fight at Desert Oasis High School. It happened this morning, and then 8 other kids were also cited. Now, that fight sparked a lockdown for the second day in a row at the same school. The adult male arrested for battery and fighting and breach of peace and then processed into the detention center. A teenager was cited for those same charges and taken to juvenile booking.
A student busted for selling pills through the mail. Federal prosecutors say this college student sold drugs using the Postal Service. It is a topic the 8 News Now I-team has investigated for months. Our own David Charnes here in studio with an exclusive interview with drug agents.
Brian, prosecutors say this college student also sold drugs when he was in high school, leading to 2 overdose deaths. As we have told you, illicit fentanyl is killing unsuspecting users, with deaths right here in the valley above 200 last year. And now investigators say this UNLV college student was mailing drugs from the post office. Federal investigators say surveillance images from a Las Vegas post office show 21-year-old Colin Shepard mailing pills to a middleman in Utah. An undercover informant telling the Drug Enforcement Administration that Shepard sold him or her fake oxycodone pills like these in bulk. Court documents include photos like this one, a priority mail envelope with as many as 35 pills inside. The return address to Colin Shepard on UNLV's campus.
Because the dark web doesn't have boundaries, it can oftentimes be global in nature.
The 8 News Now I-team has previously spoken to the DEA about shipping drugs through the mail using the dark web. It's a network of servers requiring a special app to access.
Just a plain Google search isn't going to get you there.
Court documents indicate Shepard claimed the pills he was selling were pharmaceutical grade. Quote, they're a bit pricey as they aren't presses, but they are from Canada, so thanks to free health care, they aren't crazy expensive.
We want to help as much as we can to work with the public and get information out to people so we can help prevent things.
Prosecutors allege an 18-year-old in Utah overdosed after buying Shepard's pills. Surveillance photos from February showing Shepard mailing the pills to that victim here. In another case, Shepard is accused of mailing pills to an undercover agent. When that agent didn't immediately respond, Shepard appeared to become worried. Prosecutors providing these text messages. Sorry about being so worried. Just wanting to check in and make sure you weren't dead, as it's never a good sign when someone goes MIA after getting an expletive ton of opiates. Shepard was prosecuted in the juvenile system and sentenced to probation for those 2 earlier cases. In this latest case, prosecutors say the student used encrypted apps to talk to potential buyers. Right now, he's being detained pending a court hearing that's happening later this month. I'm David Charnes, live, local now.
David, thank you. And also from our I-team, a judge pulls the warrant for a woman wanted in a deadly DUI. Police say Marcia Bird hit and killed a mother and grandmother in 2019. Prosecutors say this video showing her moments before that crash. She was due in court last month, never showed up. Her attorney says she was in the hospital and a nurse had gotten the date wrong.
A 19-year-old man is facing several charges after he crashed into parked cars last night, killing his teenage passenger. It happened yesterday near Gowan and Walnut. Police say when they arrived at the scene, they found the teen, but later received a call about somebody banging on windows, saying, quote, they'd killed someone. The driver, Abel Barres Lorenzana, later admitted to police that he was drunk driving. The victim has been identified as 17-year-old Amaru Sine. Lorenzana is due in court tomorrow.
A live look at the CCSD meeting getting underway. Schools in the district have seen an uptick in violence over the past few months. Many parents say they want to see something change. District leaders will discuss issues and potential solutions tonight. Many have already stood up to voice their concerns. A nonprofit called Dads in School is also pitching their plan to the school board tonight. This is a story the 8 News Now I-team first reported yesterday. That plan would have dads in uniforms walking school hallways, offering encouragement, help, and also to be a deterrent. The volunteers would have to do a background check first.
A couple of ballot initiatives that would have raised taxes for education have now been pulled. One would have raised the state's gaming tax rate and the other would have raised your sales tax. Now, the teachers union gathered all the signatures but later decided they wanted to pull those initiatives. But Secretary of State Barbara Zagaski said they had to stay. So now a judge in Carson City has sided with the teachers union, so you won't be voting on it in November.
The fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine pushing U.S. gas prices to record highs just ahead, of course, of the summer driving season. Now, first of all, we're talking about gas in the Valley in Las Vegas. Rose 10 cents overnight. The average price per gallon now standing at $4.88. Now, across the state, as we look statewide, Nevada is at $4.87 throughout the state. Let's go nationwide. Americans are paying an average of $4.31 on average for a gallon of gasoline. Denise? That's
what everybody's talking about these days, Brian. Meantime, our Senate majority, I should say our Senate leader, Senate Energy hearing, Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez Masto questioned oil and gas companies on their efforts to try and lower gas prices.
I only have so much time, but my question is this, directly. Why are you prioritizing your payouts to your shareholders instead of working to increase the oil supply? Let me ask you this. Would your company be willing to forego paying out dividends to pass along that relief to consumers who are seeing high prices in my state and across the country?
Yeah, so the prices are something that we do not control. I think that you said that yourself. The way in which we prioritize...
So you would not be willing to pass off your dividends to consumers who are hurting right now?
We are committed to continue to invest and make sure that our production does not decline.
All right, I've only got so much time, so let me move on here because I didn't get an answer to my question.
Now, according to Cortez Masto, oil and gas companies currently hold more than 9,000 approved but unused permits to drill here in this country. She says this week multiple reports show companies including Chevron, Shell, and Exxon use their record profits to pay their shareholders instead of increasing oil production to lower prices for consumers.
If gas prices stay as high as they are now, families could end up shelling out about $1,300 more a year. Moody's Analytics broke down the math based on Monday's national average, which has gone up since then and will likely continue to rise. In fact, the folks from Moody's worry an additional $1,300 on gas might actually be an underestimated amount.
And the rising prices of all goods pushed the inflation measure to its highest level in 40 years. The government reports the consumer price index rose to 7.9% for the 12 months ending in February. The figure is not adjusted, though, for seasonal swings. That's up from January's annual pace of 7.5%, and prices are only expected to go higher.
I think that we are looking at a period now where we can pretty clearly see that 8 and maybe even 9% inflation is on the horizon.
Meanwhile, inflation has now reached new 40-year highs for 4 months in a row. Gas prices alone contributed nearly a third of the overall increase.
Yeah. has been issued for a popular Trader Joe's pre-made salad. The FDA says crunchy slaw with chicken, crispy noodles, and peanut dressing is contaminated with a foreign material. There are concerns that the salad dressing may contain hard plastic. It was produced March 3rd through the 6th of March. There have been no reports of illness so far. Let's get to some hoops, folks. The Thomas and Mack, as loud as it's been on a Thursday in years, as UNLV played Wyoming in the Mountain West quarterfinals. The Rebels took a late lead, but unfortunately fell in heartbreaking fashion to the Cowboys, as John Treach detailed earlier. John's live from the arena now with more and a recap. Hey there.
Well, hey there, Brian. A 35-foot buzzer beater by Bryce Hamilton hit the backboard and then the rim, but didn't go in. And the season is now abruptly over as Wyoming beats UNLV by 3. For a myriad of reasons, this team is tormented in the tournament on their own floor. It's now 8 straight seasons they haven't made it past the quarterfinals and into Friday in the Mountain West. It proves that March can be magical for some, it can be cold and cruel for others.
And there was never a hint that we weren't going to fight, weren't going to compete. There was a sense of still security and confidence on the sideline because this group over the last 4 or 5 weeks has grown about as much as I think we could have.
It hurts. I mean, we played so hard. You know, we fought all year, especially this game. We was down, 13 in the first half. We didn't start off great, but, we fought to, end up come back and get the lead.
Strip taking center stage here in the second half.
So Wyoming plays Boise State in the conference semifinals tomorrow. Meanwhile, across town in progress is the Big West, the Pac-12, and the WAC tournament. So UNLV may be done, but we got plenty of basketball for your delight. Reporting from the Thomas and Mack Center, John Treach, live, local now.
Coming up next at 6, a flood of memories. We're going to hear from local Holocaust survivors who say the war in Ukraine is hitting close to home.
Plus, there might be another way to take home a Peloton without breaking the bank. We will show you how.
And we're nearly 20 degrees cooler than yesterday at this time. That means neighborhoods will be dropping to the 30s. We'll show you where. Coming up, you're watching 8 News Now at 6. We are live, local, now.